McGuigan. Follow SportsView London.
You're deep into training camp for your next fight at the Odyssey Arena in Belfast on the 4th of April, which is a WBC final eliminator against the #1 ranked Hugo Cazares. Tell us a little bit about what you know about him, mate.
I know that he's a good fighter. I know that he's been a world champion. I know he's fought at a very high level. He's won about, I think his last about 6 fights have been in super bantamweight. He's got himself in the #1 spot in the WBC, so he hasn't done that by people doing him favours. He's done it the hard way.
Yeah, of course.
He's a 2-weight world champion as well. I've seen bits of I've seen footage of him, and although it's the most difficult fight in my career so far, I still believe that I should be able to do a job on this guy.
And how's your preparations going for the fight?
All good. As Barry said earlier, I've done about 150 rounds already. We'll probably do about another 50 rounds, maybe close to 50 rounds before fight time comes.
So what would that be totaling? Come fight night?
Yeah, touching 200, like.
Really?
Yeah, and that's I enjoy the good hard sparring. I think is what's got me to where I am at the minute.
Of course.
I enjoy it as well. I enjoy sparring more than any other session. So it doesn't really bother me. It's great. It gets me in top shape for the fight. It gets me ready. And I think there's nothing better. There's nothing better than hard sparring to get you to the top.
Give us an insight into a typical day in camp and what it consists of for you.
Well, wake up. I don't do the. You hear some boxers going old school and getting up at 6 o'clock to go running. I have a lie in. Wake up around 8:30, 9ish. Have something to eat. Do my first session around 11. My morning sessions are usually. They're either sparring or a punching session of some sort. So if not sparring, it'll be pads.
Right.
And then I'll eat. I'll rest in the flat. Go back over and fart about. Pretty much do nothing really. And then the second session's either a sprint session or a weight session. Do that Monday to Friday. And then on the Saturday we do a modified strongman training. So It's a lot of sledge drags and pushing things and pulling and tire flips and stuff like that, but it's shuttles and stuff, but it's
explosive,
all explosive, but it's like 40 minutes of balls to the wall stuff. It absolutely kills you. And then
Beasted.
Sunday, well, a day and a half off, the rest of Saturday off, and the whole of Sunday off. So that's pretty much it.
Your trainer Shane McGuigan recently said that you're hitting harder every day. And it's clear for all to see you have massive power in both hands. Do you feel there's anyone in the 122-pound division that could cope with that power?
I think I'm the hardest punching super bantamweight in the world.
Who does?
It's well, you hit anyone in the chin, and I'm not just talking about super bantamweights. You go up to lightweight if you want. If I hit them clean, you could knock them out. So I'm punching hard. I'm lifting more weights now. I'm stronger in the weight sections, which I think is partly the reason. Really strong, feeling strong at the minute, and that's probably the reason why Shane has said that I'm hitting much harder. I'm hurting sparring partner as well, which is always a good sign.
Some people have no idea the sacrifices fighters make during training camp. Give us an idea of the diet you're on and the types of things you are not allowed and have to go without.
Well, it's kind of loosely based on the paleo diet. It's
Caveman.
Yeah, caveman paleo, whatever you want to call it. It's high protein, high fat, and low carb. But we're introducing more carbs, and we're taking some other things out. You know, I stay away from dairy, for instance. But for this fight, it's just about trial and error, really. Shane really knows what he's talking about when he's talking about diet, and I've been doing it for a while now, and we kind of know what my body can have and what it adapts well to and what it doesn't react well to. So a bit of trial and error at the start, but I think we've hit the nail on the head. And for this camp in particular, we've been using more, eating more carbs than ever, and this is the only time that I've been told to eat a little bit more food just to try and maintain a weight around a certain weight, because while I'm still sparring, I don't want to be too light, and it was going that way. I was making the weight, you know, very, very comfortably. So first time ever, Shane has told me eat a bit more, which isn't a bad thing when you're a boxer. And how's your weight now? It's good. It's perfect. We had a check weigh-in with a WBC.
This morning?
Yeah, this morning, and the weight's fine, well inside. That was after breakfast and before a session as well, so the weight is absolutely fine.
Superb. When you leave the gym for the day and head back to the apartment, what do you do with your spare time of an evening?
What I'm doing at the minute is looking for properties. I want to buy a new house, so I'm on the internet a lot, having a look about.
Over here, yeah?
No, back home.
Right.
But I'm online, just looking at different things, and that's
good
it.
investment, Simon.
Right.
And trying to encourage. My wife is into property, so this fella's head's full of it. He's bloody good at it too. So it's sensible investment.
Superb.
So that's it really, and then watch a bit of TV, just chill out really. That's not a lot at night time. Maybe go to the cinema the odd time as well, but
yeah,
nothing special.
With the recent addition of middleweight Comrade Cummings to the team, is that a nice feeling to be training alongside someone?
Yeah, definitely. You know, boxing's a lonely sport. It's always good if you have someone there training alongside you. I think I was in a lucky position where my trainer, where Shane, done everything with me. You know, he took me in the pads and stuff, obviously, and he didn't spar, but he done all the runs with me, and he was doing weight sessions with me too.
Yeah. So
that was great. But now to have Conrad in as well, it's a good atmosphere around the gym, you know, and he's a good lad. We get on well with each other, and things are going great, mate. It's always good to have someone there. Just it's a bit of competition as well. Which
I was just going to say that. Is it competitive now?
Yeah, he's a fit lad for, you know, he's just turned over, and he's training hard. It's good to just help me. I always want to, you know, I'm the sort of seasoned pro here, although I'm still learning myself. But when Conrad's training, I'm always like, right, I'm the big dog. I need to be beating him, which is good for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
no, it's also you don't feel so victimised because they're in a tough business like this. You often feel like, oh, I'm just going through it on my own. Having someone to go through, and don't want to put words in your mouth. Is that not right? But yeah.
And what better person to go through with, you know, the position you're in at the minute, you know, the way your career's moving.
Yeah.
Whilst in training, you and Conrad share an apartment. How would you say he's to live with, and does he have any nasty habits?
Oh, he's a few nasty habits. He's
well, you might say the same about you, breaking wind.
I know. He's getting better. Conrad's he's a mummy's boy, and he'll tell you that himself. I think he's old-fashioned Coal Island boy. The women and the mummies, the mummy of the family, and all the rest of the girls and stuff look after him. So it took him a while to adapt, but he's cooking his own.
Shop.
Yeah. He's cooking his own grub and stuff now, and cleaning up after himself, which he probably never done until. Yeah, that's the truth.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's what you want, Simon.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
It was just, he was, you know, his ma would have done everything for him, but now he's fending for himself, and I think he's enjoying it as well.
I think, in fairness to if you don't mind me saying, Northern Ireland women tend to be like that. They do everything. The men just sit there and scratch their arse, and the women do everything. Cook the food, clean up, put out the cutlery, do everything. Honestly, it's the truth. We had a couple of guys over in their mid-50s, right? Good friends of mine from years ago. And we sat down and had our meal. He was staying with me for the weekend. No boxing friend. Remember the story, right? Noel. And him and one of the other coaches in the amateur club. When they finished the meal, Sandy made them a meal, and they said, sat there. Sandy says, right guys, get up and help us. I cook, you clean. That's the deal. Yeah. And the boys, they were like flabbergasted. They didn't know what to do, so they went, oh, okay, fine, no problem. But genuinely, like, so that's the way it is with lots of mums even now, and Conrad is a wee bit spoiled, so.
Right, different way of life,
yeah, so, you know, when you're over here, you fend for yourself, and, you know, we're giving them lessons. Just no, lessons in growing up and being independent, you know what I mean?
It goes a long way in the ring as well, a bit of stuff like that.
You know, it's a tough business. Anyway, I just wanted to put that in because it sounded like you were picking on.
Your team recently stepped away from the IBF route after current champion Kiko Martinez declined a big money offer to fight you again in Belfast.
Yeah.
How frustrating is it that a man you beat so convincingly is now a world champion?
I get asked that question a lot, and to be honest, it's not actually that frustrating at all. He got a shot at the then champion Jonathan Romero, a voluntary shot, and he knocked him out. And it kind of just proves to me that I feel like I'm a world champion. I'm waiting. I feel like I'm just knocking on the door. It's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. So. For Kiko to be world champion, it's not really frustrating at all, because I truly believe that I'm going to get there, and we're taking the WBC route now.
Of course, yeah.
In my eyes, it's the most prestigious title to win in boxing, and I think I'm going to win it pretty soon. So I'm not really frustrated at all.
You're not really in your mind.
No, not really.
And just finishing on that subject, do you think Martinez will ever fight you again?
Well, I hope so. I don't know, to be honest. I hope so. It could be, if I have a WBC, it could be a good unification fight, but it's just, whether he holds on to his title or not, that's the thing. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be too confident that he will, to be honest.
Nah, me neither. Leo Santa Cruz successfully defended his WBC title at the weekend and has publicly stated that he would have no problem with coming to Belfast and defending the title against you. If all goes well on April 4th, how quickly do you think that fight could be made?
Well, it's up to him. He's a champion. He kind of dictates things. He has the right to have a voluntary defence, but if I beat Cazares, it puts me in the mandatory position. I don't think Santa Cruz wants to have a voluntary. I think he wants to fight me.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. I think it can happen in the summertime, but he's, the ball's in his court. I think he's a man of his word. I think he's an honourable champion. I think he wants to fight good fighters. I think he wants to be involved in good fights for the fans. And he sees me as, one of the toughest tests out there for him. So I think that fight could be made pretty easily after. I still have to beat Cazares. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
As long as I win my next fight, I think Santa Cruz one will get made.
I must say it every time I see Leo Santa Cruz on the telly or read or hear an interview, your name comes up first with him. So
it's a good sign.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Well, it's simple. We were very frustrated by Martinez. We got a genuine. I asked Samson Lekovic, would he, is he genuinely interested in fighting Card? Yes, he says if the offer's right. So we went out and we made him a colossal offer, better than anybody else out there, much better than anybody else, and he said no. So we could have got into the They wanted us to enter. They wanted us to fight somebody else. We were kind of disappointed with the IBF because we had won the IBF title and made a number of defences, and we'd been good to them and we'd given them a number of sanctioning fees, and we felt that because Carl had already knocked Kiko out, that he could so easily have been slipped into the mandatory spot, but they didn't do that. So we felt a little let down with him, you know, bearing in mind that he'd knocked Kiko out, and we felt that we could have been slipped into the mandatory spot, but then we thought we were going to be putting into a cycle of a mandatory, we had to fight for the mandatory spot,
right,
and then we could have been in a 9-month to possibly 15-month cycle where we could have been kept waiting and frustrated and frustrated.
Could have been 2015 before you fought for the IBF title.
That's the point.
We think we got the WBC this year,
and that's exactly what it was. And the other thing is, you know, we would be waiting potentially 15 months to go over old ground. What's the point in that? So we just thought we will politely pull out of the final eliminator and we'll enter into the WBC and instead, because what we know for sure is that Santa Cruz really wants to fight Carl.
Yeah,
and he's a man of his word, and we have already had discussions with Golden Boy. They're very keen on it. They're going to be ringside on the 4th of April, and they're very excited about Frampton. Very excited about it.
Amazing.
That's great. That's a long answer to a short question. But it's important.
That's a lovely answer.
It's important to to explain to people, and we have other people saying to us, "Oh, you give up the Commonwealth and you give up the European. What's the point in giving up what's the point in holding on to the?" To the Commonwealth and European.
Exactly.
For what?
Yeah.
To
Doesn't
fight
make
guys
you a world
that are,
champion.
because we've got to make progress.
Title,
We're chasing the world title. That's the only one that makes. It's the only one that makes a difference to us, and that's it.
Touching on the Santa Cruz fight again, all being well, April 4th. How do you see that fight going between you and Leo Santa Cruz?
Well, all being well against Cazares, I think it's a tough fight. I think it's a very, very hard fight, but I think I've got all the tools and all the attributes to beat him. You got to admire him. He's a 2-weight world champion, and he's still only 25, I think. Still plenty of years left in him. Seems like a really nice guy, really humble, down to earth. But has he been in with a genuine big super bantamweight yet? I don't think he has, and he definitely hasn't been in with one who can punch as hard as me. I think that could be the difference. It's going to be a tough fight. I think it could be. People are already talking about potentially fight of the year stuff. I think our styles would gel really well together.
Of course.
I think it'll be an amazing fight, but I genuinely believe it's one that I'll win.
Yeah.
It's the best fight, Simon, by a country mile. It's the most exciting contrasts and styles in the super bantamweight division, bar anybody. In any of the fighters and any of the contenders coming up, look at them, every one of them. This is the most exciting fight of all.
Two popular fighters as well.
And very popular fighters too, very well liked guys, guys that can really fight. Class kids in every department. It is the most exciting fight by a country mile in the super bantamweight division, definitely.
Superb. Carl, a lot of fighters seem to be mentioning your name at the moment. Most recently, Scott Quigg went on record as saying you had been put down in sparring and that his team had made you a big money offer to fight him. You don't want to fight him. What do you say to comments like that? I
just think it's just silly. He obviously went in there loaded up and asking someone what to say beforehand. His team made us an offer. But it wasn't really an offer, because when we says, okay, well, let's talk about this, they never get back to us, and that was before the Darren Barker Felix Sturm fight. Wow. Eddie Hearn made an offer to our team. Barry says, okay, let's talk. And he says, I'll get back to you after the Barker fight. You all know how long ago. You know how long ago that was, and there's been no contact.
So you received an offer, and
they made an offer. right? And then I said to them, on Twitter, they made an offer, and then they made an offer. They said they made an offer on Twitter. They made an offer in an email. I went back to them and said, right, I don't, let's sit down and talk business. You really want this? Let's sit down and talk business. Silence.
Ever since.
They just thought that we would say no because we're on Box Nation and they're on Sky. I thought the fight can't happen. We said let's discuss it. Once that happened, pretty much crapped themselves, and there's been no word back.
But the reality is, Simon, that this is so trite and so worn out. People going over and over and over about this. The reality is, we don't want to talk about it anymore because we're going after a proper champion, a guy who's a valid world champion, who's won his title the proper way and didn't get some spurious decision and winning a sort of the ordinary title. What does that mean? The real WBA champion is Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Yeah, and here's one: if I win a WBC and Scott Quigg is allowed to fight me, I'll defend against him and he'll have his chance of winning the proper world title. Right. Which he won't, but he'll have a chance.
If the fight were to happen, what in your opinion would be the outcome?
I think I would knock him out, and I think I would knock him out early. Yeah. In the first half of the fight. Honestly, I'm saying that hand on heart. That's the truth. I think I'll blow him away.
An excellent small team around you with manager Barry McGuigan and trainer son Shane. How nice is it to be in control of your own destiny with Cyclones Promotions and not relying on other promoters, etc.?
It's brilliant. I think we're in a great position, and I've been brought in. I'm part of promotion here too, which is a great thing for me, obviously, and not just me, but for my family too.
Of course,
I'm benefiting massively out of us going our own way. Not just for the way we're chasing fights. We're talking the Golden Boy. We know everything that's going on. Everyone's completely transparent here. I'm involved in all discussions, so I know everything that's going on.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We're on the verge of fighting for the WBC world title. I don't think this would have happened if we had have not done what we've done and sort of went our own way. But it's great. It's a great position to be in, I think. Honestly, I think it's the best move for us. A lot of people sort of questioned it at the start, but you seen the show we put on the last time?
Oh, of course.
It was an unbelievable show, and that was Cyclone Promotions' first major show, and it just it's going to get better and better all the time, I think.
And the thing is, as well, with that, there's boxing. I attend boxing shows on almost a weekly basis, and there's not many arenas you go to that have sold tickets the way you sell tickets.
Yeah, we'd have sold this place out already. Only there's we obviously for the undercard you have to hold some tickets back so the undercard can sell to their friends and family and stuff.
Right.
If we didn't have to do that, the place would be sold out. Simple as.
It's a unique position, Simon. Here's a kid who sells out arenas, and we could put on a table tennis match, and in no way are we undermining the fighters. We have got great respect for all the kids that are on the undercard. We really like them, and we've done what we always said we were going to do, which was to help as many of the Irish kids as we can, right? But this kid could sell it out on his own, and we could put on a table tennis match and they'd still come along. And that's in no way denigrating the fighters are below us, but he is the biggest draw in the world at super bantamweight. Not another fighter in the world draws like him.
No.
And what's more, I don't think were you there on the last occasion?
I couldn't make that one, unfortunately.
It is the most atmospheric arena in the world. Is that right?
Oh, it's an unbelievable atmosphere.
It is like it will bring a shiver to your spine. Listen to Barry, what Barry Jones said. He said he had never experienced anything like it in his life.
Yeah, he's been to
many big fights.
Big fights like that.
I spoke to Steve Bunce at Comrade's debut briefly, and he said the same thing. He said he's been boxing all over the world and never heard anything.
Well, it is just the most extraordinary feeling, and it is spine-tingling stuff, and that's what we got over here. It's a really special, unique thing. I don't know that there's, as I said, I don't know that there's a more atmospheric arena in the entire world, honestly. and that's all because of the fans are so passionate about this kid.
Your trainer Shane always has you in an amazing shape, and you seem to have a very special relationship with each other. Just tell us a bit about that.
We're best mates. That's the way it is. We're very close friends. I live in his house, and I stay with him. We're around each other. We have a great relationship. He was a groomsman at my wedding. I think that's very important, to have a good relationship with your trainer. To be able to trust him is very important as well. I have complete trust in him. I do as I'm told. I listen to all his advice he's given me. He's a fantastic coach. Although he's very young, he's going to be. I've said this before, and I don't want to be blowing smoke up his arse, but he's going to be the man in a couple of years' time all the top fighters are going to want to come to and train with. He's that good. I think we have a great relationship now. I think it'll last for when I decide to hang the gloves up. We'll always be friends.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in a year's time?
I see myself as world champion. I see myself hopefully as I'm hoping to be WBC world champion this year. I would like a couple of defences, and in a year's time, who knows? It could be up a weight, trying to win a world title at a second weight. Who knows?
Right.
You can. This is the ambition. I obviously want to win a world title at this weight, super bantam. But once I do, I would like a couple of defences. I would like to fight Quigg, and then I would like to move up to featherweight and try and win a world title at that weight as well.
You have a wife and young daughter at home in Belfast. They must be the most amazing motivation in the world when you step in the ring come fight night.
Yeah, it is amazing. I bring a picture of Carla in the changing room with me.
Right.
I always give a little kiss before I leave.
Yeah.
And that's a massive motivation to me. Christine's at home looking after Carla. And she's kind of put her career on hold to let me do what I'm doing. Christine's a very smart girl. She's a degree in criminology and criminal justice, and she's pretty much just being a housewife. I feel, I kind of feel like I feel a bit bad that that's the way it is, that she's not able to do what she wants to do and I'm doing it. But this is a short career. I'm going to give it my all while I'm boxing. I'm going to try and make the most out of it for my family. I want to have a healthy life for us all, and she understands that. And then, once I hang them up, if she wants to go and work, I'll be happy to be a house husband.
What is a standout moment in your boxing career so far?
Probably knocking Martinez out, just because the atmosphere, all the way he carried on at the weigh-in, and just to do it, just one punch knock out a guy who then went on to become a world champion. That's probably the standout moment so far. I don't think anything will get close to that. Although against Jeremy Party, he's not as good a fighter as Kiko, not as big as name as him, but the atmosphere for that fight was even surpassed the Kiko fight, and if it's getting better and better with every fight, I can only imagine what it's going to be like for this next one. It's going to be crazy.
What's the best bit of advice you've ever been given?
I don't know. Barry's given me good advice where I used to always try and conserve energy, and I'm always leaving a bit in the tank for the end. But I've got a big engine. I have a massive engine. I don't need to do that. I can go hard for 12 rounds, and that's it really. Barry's always telling me how big an engine I have. Just to work hard. You've got the capabilities to do it, and that's a different side of me I've seen recently. I'm out working. I'm overwhelming opponents and throwing more shots than them in sparring. So that's it maybe.
What's your favourite fighter of all time and why?
I don't know. I keep changing. I keep getting asked this all the time. I don't know. Some days it'll be Duran. Some days it'll be Sugar Ray Leonard. There's so many. I love Tyson, although he's not the greatest of all time. I love the style. Love Evander Holyfield as well.
Yeah.
So there's a list there for you.
It's tough, isn't it? I'm the same. You view fights and you like different styles, and
My favourite of all time is Duran. Personally, just because I like his style so much. I just was attracted to the way he fought, his character as a human being, hugely generous, kind guy, but you cross him and he was just an animal. And I've seen that in his personal life. We used to, we shared a camp together back in 1986. We travelled all over America on a whistle stop tour. He's an amazingly generous, kind guy, but when he gets in that ring, he's just incredible. He's incredible. I love his style. I mean, my favourite fight of all time was his destruction of Davy Moore. But you watch him against Leonard the first time. You watch him against, so many great fights. Against, even in his losing fight against Leonard and De Jesus and so many other guys, Esteban De Jesus, he was just unbelievable. I love his style.
Yeah.
Greatest all-rounder of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson. Mark II was Sugar Ray Leonard. So he was the most versatile, but pure fighting style. Duran, my favourite.
Best fight you've ever seen?
Me?
Yeah.
I love Holyfield and Cowie #1.
Brutal, yeah.
Great fight, and for two big men, two cruiserweights, and Holyfield got into that fight. I think it was his 12th fight, a 15-rounder. Just a war from the very start, and two big men to be so athletic and fast. And you look at the cruiserweight division now, I think guys wouldn't have anything to worry about.
Without a doubt.
I love that fight.
Oh Christ! Greatest fight of all time. Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, 9 minutes of mayhem. That's one. God, there's so many. You won't remember this, and it was a fairly sort of, not a big meaningful fight, but if you look at a guy called Rafael Bazooka Limon against a guy called Bobby Chacon. Go and watch that fight and tell me it's not one of the best fights you've ever seen.
Right.
Oh, incredible.
Favourite film?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or Apocalypto.
How about yourself, Barry?
Oh, My Left Foot. The guy getting out of jail, and another great one in the 1920s where Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption, yeah.
Those are my two of hundreds.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of them.
Favourite food, Carl?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this one.
Depends.
I'll tell you if he's in camp.
Pavlova's. I love pavlova after a fight.
Yeah.
I love good, hearty, like Irish food as well, stews and stuff, and like casseroles and stuff like that.
He's definitely a foodie. This guy's a great cook.
Really?
He's he's
Enjoy
an incredible
cooking,
cook.
like it.
He's like, I won Hell's Kitchen and I can't do anything. this guy can really cook. I'm not joking. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's really brilliant.
Is that since you come over here, Carl, or you've always been able?
I've always cooked. I enjoy it. I like cooking my own food, and I enjoy it. No, I like making food. I like eating food, but I like making food for other people.
Yeah.
And like seeing if they like it, if they like what you've cooked, I think it's great.
And he has vicarious joy and fun out of it. Just seeing people enjoy their food, like he gets a kick out of that.
That's brilliant.
That's right.
Favourite song?
Maybe American Pie. No, it's not even. I don't know. Hold on. Casey and the Sunshine Band. What's the name of the song?
Casey.
I forgot it. I forgot the name of the song. Give It Up, Casey and the Sunshine Band.
How about yourself, Bal?
Oh God, it's very difficult to answer that. I mean, I could give you 100 different questions and different answers. Let It Be is a great song.
Yeah.
incredible song. It just means so much. And Hotel California.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Eagles fan, right? So
You don't mind a bit of them cold, do you?
No, I like Eagles, yeah.
That's leading on to my next question, actually. Favourite band?
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I was going to say the Eagles.
Well, you better say something first.
I was going to say the Eagles, then want to steal it.
No, you steal it. You steal it, the Eagles. Well, I'm a massive Paul Carrick fan.
Right.
Hugely into Paul Carrick, and Paul Carrick is, in case you don't know, he had a band called Ace, and he wrote a song called "How Long Has This Been Going On?"
Yeah.
He wrote that when he was 18, right? And he also sang in the Living Years. Remember that?
Oh, Mike and the Mechanics.
Mike and the Mechanics. He was the lead singer of
Right.
Mike and the Mechanics, and he also sang Looking Back Over My Shoulder, and he's just a phenomenal
Lovely voice.
singer. And he also sang. Do you remember the song "Tempted by the Fruit
Yeah, I
of
do.
Another"? He was in Squeeze. He was the keyboard player. He replaced Jules Holland,
Right.
and Jules Holland left Squeeze. They got in Carrick. He's a multi.
Replace Carrick,
Yeah, he replaced Jules Holland. He's an incredible all-round musician, but he is amazing at piano and the organ and all of that. But his voice with that, so he, to me, is one of the greatest musicians I've ever heard. And there are so many. You look at Adele and you look at Adele, you see all these, Pharrell, and you look at CeeLo Green and all. Amazing.
Yeah.
But this guy has got a real appreciation for music. He's into soul. He's into Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke again, like massively, and it's great. It's great that I've infused these guys with interest in music. I mean, he's always been interested in music anyway, but he loves the old stuff. He loves all, just like me. I just love all the old stuff.
Yeah.
And Jake and Shane, they're all into the old stuff, particularly Shane.
Cole, as someone that many people, young people, look up to, what advice would you give to someone that has no direction in life and is struggling to find a purpose?
Geez,
That's a good question,
I
that.
know. I need to think about that one. I don't know. I suppose don't want to sound like a flipping.
He's asked you a preachy question, so.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't want to sound preachy, but I think it genuinely, with a lot people can do a lot of things. Not everyone can do everything.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things people can do with hard work. If you want to try and get somewhere. Like there's times where I could have easily packed boxing in.
Yeah.
Especially when I was younger. Loads of times when I thought about it, because it's a hard game. But the end goal was always to be a world champion, even from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I stuck it out, and I keep doing it, and I'm getting close to that. So I think work hard, have a good work ethic. Will get a lot of people a lot of things.
Yeah. Going off subject slightly, someone recently posted a video of you on Twitter dancing on a table at your wedding.
Yeah.
What was that called?
Oh, the
Can it be
dance?
taught?
Oh, it can't be taught. No, that's.
Great question.
They're just special ones. I only bring them out in special occasions, but they're original every time. So once it's done, it's only
That's
ever
it.
done once.
It's very special.
Right. One off.
Fleeting
Yeah,
moment.
that's it.
And there is no name.
There's no name.
Get down. That's what we were fucking shouting at him because he was on the table.
Barry pulled me off that, He came over, I was right, like, I had a few drinks and stuff, and I was dancing on the table, and he didn't want the table to cave in. So he pulled me off it, and you got a few boos, didn't you, Barry?
I got booed. They didn't have the same level of concern that I had. Because most of them were pissed, and me being a non-drinker, you see, they didn't appreciate it.
Cole, you have a fan base that, in our opinion, is untouchable. You sell out arenas, amazing atmosphere. How does it feel when big names in the sport of boxing are saying you're the new Ricky Hatton?
Oh, that's great. It's amazing. You know, everyone knows the fan base Hatton had, and huge fan base. If I can get even a wee, close to that, it would be something special. But there's potential there's potential there for me to sell out big arenas, and we're talking about, if we get the Leo Santa Cruz fight after Cazares, there's talk of boxing at Ravenhill. You could, I would believe that for Santa Cruz we could put between 20 and 25,000 people in the stadium. That's the truth. So, definitely. And for a small guy at super bantamweights, that's big numbers. So, people saying, the new Ricky Hatton, that's amazing. Because I was a big fan of Hatton, massive fan of him.
So was I.
On fight day, what is your routine?
I get up, I have my breakfast. With the IBF, it used to be a check weigh-in, so you can't be £10 more than the weight you weighed in at, or sorry, your fighting weight. So I used to do that, go and check my weight, have breakfast, go for a stroll, go for a few walks. I don't like to be. Some fighters would like to be left alone, and I like to be around people. I like to be talking. I like to have my friends and family about and have a chat, and not get too serious and too hyped up too early. There's plenty of time to do that once you get into the changing room. But the day of the fight, I'm pretty chilled. It's a Friday this time. It's usually a Saturday, so there's usually a bit of sport on the TV.
Right, yeah.
I enjoy watching a rugby game or a football game, but I don't know what's going to be on this time. It's going to be a Friday, so maybe loose women or something will be on this afternoon. I don't know.
It's a good big game. It's a big weekend of sport because the Ulster boys. Who are playing the next
night?
day?
Saracens and Ravenhill, in the quarter-final of the Heineken Cup. So
brilliant.
I think I'm going to go to that as well. So big weekend of sport back home.
When you leave the dressing room and enter the ring, what's going through your mind?
To win, just to win and be smart. Always, stay in the zone and just there's things I've been working on for. It'll be a 13-week camp by the time the fight comes around. There's things that I've been working on, just trying to implement them because I believe they'll work. And if they don't work, the good thing is that I can change my style, and I've always got a plan B and a plan C. But I'm just thinking to win, just to win, really. That's the thing. Win at all costs. It's one fight away from a world title fight. If I win this one, I'm gonna leave everything in the ring. Don't leave anything in the tank. There would be nothing worse than losing a close fight and getting out at the end of it and saying I could have done more. I had still a few rounds in me. There'd be nothing worse than that. You'd be kicking yourself for years. So,
do you think that's another thing that sets you apart? That you can people come up against you, but be it a pressure fighter, switch puncher, defensive fighter, but you can adapt to any opponent.
I'm equally as good. Well, I enjoy people coming to me, and that's what I'm probably best at. But this camp in particular, I've been working on going forward, and I've been working on going forward, and I feel I'm better going forward than I've ever been. I'm pushing people around. I'm blocking short shots on the inside. I'm countering well up close. I think it's bringing another aspect to my game. I think I'm without blowing smoke again. You see all these fighters, and a lot of them are good at one thing.
Yeah. I
think I'm one of the most all-rounded fighters in the UK. I can go forward and go back. I can box at middle distance. And I think that's always going to benefit me, because in that case you can change it up in a fight.
Definitely. Many members of the public say the atmosphere for your fights at the Odyssey Arena cannot be beaten. How does it make you feel that people turn out in such numbers for you, not only locally but from around the world?
Oh, it's great, and I see people tweeting that they're coming from all over the British Isles and from the south of Ireland as well to support me, which is great. But the atmosphere in there is crazy. I just wish we had a bigger indoor venue back home. It's just something about the Odyssey. This the shape of it. It's a perfect shape for a boxing The whole boxing, the atmosphere is just it's real. It's like it's spine tingling. I think was it John Rawlings described it as when I was getting into the ring against Party. And you can talk about it as much as you want, but until someone's actually went and seen, it's not the same. But it's an amazing atmosphere.
In when you're warming up for that fight and you're in the dressing room, can you hear that atmosphere?
Not a lot, because people come in and out the doors. When the doors are closed, you can't really hear anything. But when they're opening and closing, you can hear things. But I love that. I like to go out. I get in early. I get in sort of 2 hours before the fight, chill out for a while, and then we start wrapping up and getting warm. I always go out and feel the ring.
Yeah.
So people might clock that and they're like, what's Frampton doing there? I always go out and touch the ring, see how soft it is. I want to feel how soft the canvas is.
Yeah.
So I go out and do that. Back in, get ready, and listen to some good music. We're still pretty laid back up until about 45 minutes, half an hour before the fight, and then we start getting a little bit more serious.
Right, yeah. And Barry, that must make you feel proud when you come out to an atmosphere like that.
Yeah, well, as soon as you enter the tunnel, you can hear it. It's like it shakes the ground. That's how loud it is. The ground shakes, and then you get to sort of 30-40 meters away, and it's like amazing. And then you go out and you think it can't get louder than this, and you go out and the closer you come to the entrance, it's like just the noise is palpable. You just feel like you could cut a slice of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so dense all around your head and all. It's unbelievable.
On a personal level, the Parody fight, Barry, noticed that you looked like you were more pumped up than Carl for that.
No, he's cool. He's calm.
Yeah.
And I am pumped up. Of course, I'm pumped up. Every fight's really important, and we're getting closer to our objective. So yeah, of course, it's pressure, and you get in there, and when you feel that atmosphere, when you hear that noise, it's impossible. I defy anybody to not get emotionally attached, isn't it, Carl?
Definitely.
When you're hearing an atmosphere like that, it's phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. Because again, you can talk about it as much as you want, and you think you've heard noises, but just go there and sit and listen.
Yeah.
It's pretty phenomenal. So yeah, and of course, everybody. I mean, for me, because I'm a fighter, and I remember what it was like to get hit, and
of course,
I know how tough it is and how difficult it is. So I would be in touch with what he's feeling slightly more than the normal bloke,
Yeah.
But the difference with me and him is that he's much calmer than I ever was. I mean, when I was fighting, I was as cool as a cucumber because I knew I had to be. You know what I mean? As a fighter, you have to be absolutely ice cold.
Yeah. Because
if you're an emotional wreck, how could you fight when you're an emotional wreck? So I was never like that. I was always calm when I was boxing. Always. A little bit more. I suppose a little bit more concerned than Carl was. Carl, sometimes you think, Jesus, maybe I'm wrong, but in the last couple of fights, the sort of size and of it all, maybe I looked like you could see a little bit of more tension.
Yeah,
is that
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the enormity of it.
Yeah, it's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger, and the atmosphere over there. I defy anybody to stay calm in that atmosphere.
Of course.
Anybody. I mean, like it's a pretty special thing. So you do get caught up in it.
Yeah.
And also, more than anything else, I want him to win. And if he shows what he shows in the gym, 80% of that, he'll win the world title. There's no doubt about it.
Brilliant.
And I want him to do it as intelligently as possible. And you know, I want him to look good all the time because I know the effort he puts into training.
Yeah.
So I want him to have a satisfactory result, first of all, and secondly, I want him to be happy with it. And you know, you're much happier if it's an exciting and an emphatic finish. You know.
Yeah.
And most of the time he does that. You know.
Carl, if you weren't a boxer, what do you think you would be?
Don't know. The only other job I ever had was I worked on a Saturday when I was about 15 for about 2 months. I helped out a guy who's a good friend of mine, Cooper McClure. He's a lemonade delivery driver, and I used to help him deliver the lemonade. So maybe that. Don't know.
Cooper's.
Don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe. I always thought in school as well I wanted to be a joiner. If I wasn't going to be a boxer, I had these ideas of run my own. No, sorry, not a joiner, a spark.
Right.
Run my own electrical business and all. But this is all just fucking a load of shit. I always wanted to be a boxer, so I don't know. I would probably be something in the sporting industry, maybe a PT or something like that.
When you're not training for a fight and you're at home in Belfast, what's your idea of a perfect day?
There's a wee place me and Christine love to go to called Bob Stewart's. It's in Lisburn, pretty close to our house, but it's like you know, you think you're in the countryside. It's an amazing really old pub restaurant, like a real cottagey feel, real Irish cottagey feel. No kids allowed in it.
You don't take the baby, no?
No, this is for a date, like. So me and Christine, no kids are allowed in it. The food is absolutely amazing, like unbelievable food in it. I don't think there's that many people know about it because of where it is as well, so it's never usually that busy. The guy who runs the place, can't actually remember his name, but he's always great crack as well, have a bit of a yarn with you and a laugh. That's the ideal date. Bob Stewart's for a nice feed and maybe a wee glass of red or something.
You've obviously grown up in Northern Ireland. How different is it? How different does it feel for you when you come to this part of London?
Especially around here, it's like night and day. It's completely different. I was sort of lost a bit at the start, but now I'm used to it. I'm used to it. I enjoy sort of. Well, obviously, it's not nice to leave Christine and Carla, but it's a nice place here. It's a great area around Battersea and Chelsea. Felt out of place a little bit at the start, but I'm getting used to that now, and I kind of know my way around enough. So, you know, around the local area here, a lot of good people around. There's a few wee spots we went to, Butcher and Grill, and a few different wee places around.
Battersea Grill
Across the road as well. I enjoy it. It's a really nice area.
Superb undercard for the This Is Belfast bill with Jim Mate, Comrade Cummins, Ryan Burnett and Mark McCulloch, and also many more set to feature. Irish boxers really on fire at the minute.
Yeah.
What would you say? It's
flying, and it was hard. You know, there's people that's been left out because there's simply not enough room. But there's a few more fights to be added, and you'll know all about that in the next few days, next week or so. The bill's going to get even better than what it is at the minute. But there's a lot of talent in Ireland.
Yeah.
It's just about, you know, we're running shows here, we're giving people chances. We'd like to be able to please them all, but we can't. It's impossible to put every single fighter on the bill. But we'll do our best for as many of them as we can, and if they're honourable to us, suppose we're going to be honourable to them and put them on our bills. But it's going to be a fantastic bill, and it hasn't been finalised yet. But I know what's going on behind the scenes, and I know that there's some big fights that's going to be announced very soon.
3 or another 3 title fights on the bill.
Superb. And finally, obviously a big fight's just been rematch just been made between Carl Froch and George Groves. How do you see that fight going?
It's a hard one. A few people have asked me. I think Groves will win the fight. You know, I like Carl Froch, I like George Groves as well, but I have a feeling that Groves is going to win this fight. I think he knows what to do. He knows what he has to do from the first fight.
Yeah.
I think he knows he made mistakes. Although the fight was stopped unfairly, in my opinion, he was still in a little bit of trouble when it was stopped. But I think Groves will win this time by stoppage, maybe.
Same question, Barry.
I think it's genuinely a pick'em fight. Just like Carl, I've gone over it 100 times and I can see 100 different scenarios and different finishes. It's genuinely a pick'em fight, and that's why, you know, there's going to be so many people there. I'm not surprised that it's a fight that everybody wants to see. And what it epitomizes is the fact that people say the fight game is not the same as it used to be. Nonsense. You know, you got someone like Floyd Mayweather earning $90 million a year without one sponsor.
Definitely.
And you have Froch and Groves drawing 50,000-60,000 people in the first, selling that amount of tickets in the first day. You know, there might be a little bit of hyperbole attached to that, but still, it's going to be a big show. But it's a genuine pick'em fight, and you know, it's a bit like, we're fairly confident that the Carl will beat Cazares and Santa Cruz, but that's another. People consider that a pick'em fight, and that's what we want to see. The public want to see fights that both guys can win.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Carl, Barry, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour talking to you both today, and we're looking forward to the fight, and we'll be there at ringside watching you do what you do best.
come on.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, man.
Simon Page reporting for Sports View London.
I grew up